set built-in microphone. So can you see me now, audio and everything? Can you hear me now?
Okay, we have to wait for some time because not anything till now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on talking. Just see.
Yeah, I got it. I got the audio.
Okay, so signal video also okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just putting a PowerPoint. Just see it is coming, showing in
Sure.
the. Okay, right, very good. Okay, so we need to set this also.
Yeah. So basically, you have connected your just a second.
I'm on my Mac actually. So Mac this time HD camera I didn't connect. I just my built-in camera.
Okay. Generally, so you on equally you have connected on your laptop on your mobile. Is it?
See, I have problem. Last time I told you about that router, so I'll set it all right.
Okay, yeah, because if you don't connect the equalink on your OBS where you have running OBS then it doesn't give you other side's voice. But it's okay. Right now we'll go through that because it's 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so that I have audio. We'll continue with whatever setting she does. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Okay. Juliet Alpha, Raja, please take it up. General Sector, nothing particular. Nice day, 73, bye bye, over. I'll give a last call to the VHF station from Pune. Any VHF station from Pune on frequency, please call VPR. If there is nobody, I will request all the equaling stations to stand by or monitor the expanded desktop on YouTube. You have a choice for either. For the YouTube listeners, if you have any questions, please write in the dialog box. So only written questions will be answered because you don't have facility to talk back. So shortwave listeners are requested to write their questions. I request everyone to maintain silence on the frequency and don't interfere in between. The question and answer session will be at the end. Let's listen to the whole dialogue from Bala because he will clear most of the doubts about code of conduct and ethics in ham radio. Without spending much time, T. Bala is a veteran ham and active member of Pune Hams Group. So far, he has conducted very good and lovely station on Handshare 3.0, sorry 3.4, and he is helping us to train newcomers to come on the air because Handshare is the only way we can promote ham radio and it can get popularized. So with this note, I will request T. Bala to start his presentation, Ethics and Code of Conduct in Ham Radio. Over to T. Bala.
Thank you very much, V2 VPR, this V3 Tango Bravo Romeo. And good morning to everybody on the frequency, also through the calling and YouTube, etc., SWLs, and new license holder. So, thank you very much for joining today's talk, Ethics and Operating Procedure. I am sure we have a lot of veteran people on this channel listening also. but the focus here is for the newcomers and other people. So, and also what I realize is it's also important that due to communication we come up in a different way. So what all available? I'm this most of my talk is based on a this PDF, International Amateur Radio Union's two authors. Due credit to them. I would ON4 UN and ON4 WW and G3 PGT proofreading and correction done by him. So they have written a very nice book. I sent a link already, and I'll also put it in YouTube. This link you can download and read. It's 60 pages, but I'm going to concentrate on the first 5 pages, which is more relevant to the newcomer. Thank you very much. So I start my the procedure through PowerPoint, ethics and operating procedure. Okay, so I'll just give you a timeout and I'll come back again. Okay, the basic principles, very important is the points tolerance, politeness, compression, brotherly spirit, social feeling, act positively. Okay, so these are all the comprehension. Sorry, I by mistake it is typed comprehension. So very important are these four factors, and also what are the radio amateurs code? Considerate, loyal, progressive, friendly, balanced, and patriotic. Ethics and morals. Okay, so I'll go one by one. Because there are some good storytelling is important to catch the everything quickly. We are talking about what is the major thing. We are talking about the frequency or bandwidth allocation, which are given to us to operate for the hams. So we have to work within that limited restriction. So there is always a big rush during some time, and there is a frequencies open most of the time. So how do we handle and how do we get the frequency done? So when during the rush there is always like a COVID-19, people are rushing for buying vegetable. This sort of rush is all there in the for that particular frequency. So this is what we need to work out. Tolerance, politeness, compassion, all this thing comes under that category. I'll go with a small example. See, we have a working in a company. There is a cabin. When a boss is talking, the employee want to come and enter his cabin. He will not enter just like that. He will just hear, if it is closed door, if there is any boss is busy talking on phone, any sound coming. So if sound is there, he'll wait for some time. Then again, he'll make an attempt to go. If that time to the room there is no conversation, he will knock the door and say, "May I come in?" Then get into it. Boss will say, "Okay, come," and then you start this thing. Here, the same principle applies. There, your office, in your home also, you have privacy. You knock the door and you enter. Something in the frequency also, we have to do the same thing. Okay, so when the frequency is open, and if there is absolutely no sound or anything, he can always has a doubt. He can ask, is this frequency in use or not? So he can ask, is this frequency in use? Then you wait for some time, and there is no response. Then he knows that then he can make a CQ call. Okay, so this is how our first step it has to come by doing entering and taking the frequency for CQ call. So you cannot just go when the frequency is occupied by somebody. Negotiations are going on. They are talking each other. We cannot just go and interrupt that discussion by our CQ call. So this is the first most important. It starts from there, and it shows your maturity, how you handle during that time. Yes, option to choose some other frequency and call CQ on that. or if you is particular about that frequency, you can come back again and you can do that. Okay, this is what is important. I'll just take a timer call. Okay, back again. So this is very important. So patience is very important, and also the very important thing is listening. What is the meaning by listening? Many people learn a lot of things by seeing and listening. This we have the habit from the childhood days, when mother teaches the children, talks to him, that child continuously, whether he respond with giggling and showing hand. Mother knows how to say something and what is the reaction to that. So the child picks up everything by hearing, by seeing everything. So here also, what we have to do is don't jump for quick establishing a QSO with somebody and get a wrong name or picture about himself. Best thing is to hear the two conversation, because the frequency is open to anybody. I mean, there is no privacy that it is done everything in a private room. So it is all open frequency. So you can listen to some senior people, how they are talking, what they are talking, and how he opens the discussion, how he closes the discussion. These are all the some ethics are involved in doing this. Because if you want to learn a German or a French or Russia, they basically start you with pleasantries, how to exchange. Then they go into deeper stage 2, 3 to discuss. Similarly, very important that we discuss the how we enter the frequency I mentioned to you. Then I will also talk to you a little later. How do we start our CQ, and what are the points to be discussed during the CQ? Okay, so silent listening is very important. How the senior people are talking, what they are talking. Not only that, it is a language also makes a difference. The English being a medium of language for discussion, well, we stick to English as a language for communication purpose. Because this English also, there are not only India, many countries around the world, they are not very conversant with English. Just I'll break for 1 minute. Okay, you take Japan. The Japanese people, most of them, they internally they talk to each other in Japanese. So many people who are in the trade, they try to learn English. Even the seasoned English people, what I have seen is we cannot talk to them fast. You have to be very slow. You have to say, Noguchi-san, good morning. I sent you one document. Did you receive? Like that, you have to say action and put a exclamation or question mark in your voice. That is what you have to modulate. Then you say, yes, Balasan, I receive. But what did you say? Copy me. So you have to again slowly discuss. So after telling for 2 3 times, he understand. So there is a problem of English. So here we have to talk slowly. Similarly, if you talk to any European or English speaking country, we cannot talk to him slowly like what I showed you. You have to talk not very fast also. You keep a pace with your type of thing. So he'll understand, he knows that, he's not. Other he'll say, Bala, don't waste your time. Come on, speak clearly and fast. So that sort of reaction will come. So we should modulate according to the country, and we have to understand which are the country are English speaking, and all that we have to do some research work on that. So also by hearing, you'll know how people are talking, how they are communicating. This is very important, because we are communicating. When we are communicating, we need to say who you are and who you are talking to. That is very important. Now I told you about listening and communication. Also, with the communication, it comes is the phonetics, alphabets. What we English alphabets are there, and 1 to 0 numbers are there. So, like a international standard organization ISO, this is also a phonetic developed by international organization, and we all follow the same phonetics so that the person who is talking and using the phonetics on the other hand also he knows if he says bravo, that means b, whiskey means w. So like that, the it will be easy for us to understand. And especially I mentioned the English, not speaking good English and all that, for them the phonetics is going to help them very very nicely, because he can take a printout and put it in a wall in a big thing. A stands for what, B stands for what, etc. Then he can look, and when somebody is telling, he can write down in his logbook what he is saying. So phonetics is very very important. And we it is phonetics are not only used for conveying the call sign, but also throughout your negotiation till you are saying 73, I'll also tell you when to call 73. That is also important. So that means the ending of transmission, till the ending of transmission, we are going to use the phonetics. These phonetics are very very important, and people need to understand that, so this is very very good to do that. So, learning phonetics side by side, you can't learn everything in overnight, because you have learnt A for apple, B for boy, like that, C for cat, like this in your during your nursery time, and you will also be teaching to your own brother sister the same nursery alphabet. But that is for school and nursery. When you take a go to that area, you have to talk that phonetics. But when you come to the ham, the phonetics what we have to use, not the cat, rat, and all those things. We have to use the internationally recommended, that phonetics is very very important. Please keep it in mind. This phonetics is going to help you for conversing your all the talk with the other party, whether he knows English or not. This is going to help you. So phonetics is very very important. So please try learn as much as possible these phonetics. This is going to help you. Now coming back, after the phonetics, what all the things you require. We are all taught, I have my three books lying on my table. It is a diary, old diary or new diary, but I put a date, time, and to whom the subject is, and relevant thing on the heading. Then I note down. This diary in our term is called a logbook. In shipping industry also I work. We also have a logbook. Logbook is considered to be a valid document even in the court of law. Okay, so if you show them, this is what I have conversed in the verbally, this is what the log I maintain. This is going to help you in case where a reference has to be made. The court will also honor that logbook. So logbook is important, and you have to have, along with the phonetics, the habit of writing logbook. Logbook is very very important. So it will save your life when in the time of some trouble. Okay, so please ensure that, even when you get a license, the government of India gives a standard, like a QSL card. Now you are electronically exchanging with everybody in a fraction of second. Okay, I'll time out for 1 minute. Okay. The QSL card, what is QSL card? It's an acknowledgement of establishing a contact with other party under some circumstances or some thing. What all the QSL card contains? It contains the station worked with the other party and your station, and your frequency and under which you are talking, the time. Very important is UTC time, because that is the standard everybody maintain. And we know India is plus 5.5. every country from UTC you have various time difference plus side or minus side. So you have to add or minus that one. But again, the time is very based, very important, and also the signal strength. I'll come on that. What is signal strength? It's a topic by itself, but I'll quickly come back on my next step. So when you send a QSL card, it is electronically, it is possible. But when in a real RF, when you deal, a QSL card, you'll do it later after a day or two, whenever you want. Send it by post and or through some agencies are there, so you can send. So how you catch the information through logbook only. So logbook, whatever you write, that is what will appear in the QSL card, and the other party will also acknowledge to you. So the QSL card not only helps as a nice beautiful card to keep it, but this is the way you understand when at a certain given time what was the weather condition and what was the strength I had at the particular time. How do I change my antenna? All those things can be made from the database what you have collected from the QSL card. So don't assume that QSL card is collecting like a stamp to preserve it in your shack. That is not the idea. The idea was initially is to, in those days, is to, you are talking 3,000 kilometer, then the weather condition, what was the sunspot, etc., etc. So you record it. So you also record, gives you confirmation. Yes, we had QSO under these circumstances. That is what is very important. So you have to maintain some database, and then next time when you do, you see that QSL card detail. My sound will not be good during the particular time, etc. That will going to help you on the QSL card. Okay, so next step is we have to act positively, okay, and brotherly spirit and social feeling. This is what is important, because when you talk, you have to be polite and nice, and understand the smartness as you have to show as a professional. Face is the mirror of mind, we call it. So that is for when you do eyeball, that is eyeball means face to face, you are talking to a person. Okay, now when you are talking on the other hand, communication through this you know WRF or the ham spear or anything you take, you are working, and the other party, he doesn't see you visually. So what is the only media is only our conversation. So how good you are in your conversation is always lower the your the talk. Don't speak very louder or authoritatively. All those things is not required here. You have to be humble when you are talking. When I speak lower means don't lower your voice, otherwise sound will not go there. When I say lower means not authoritatively, in a compassionate way of talking. That is politeness is very very important. Okay, so when you're talking to the other party, he'll be very comfortable when he's talking to you. Okay, if a newcomer, if the other party is very very sort of aggressive nature, then he'll drop the signal and go to some other person. Okay, that should not happen. So you have to be considerate, and politeness and tolerance is also very important. If somebody is talking, you listen to him till he gives a sign of that he has finished his talk. Now you must start your talk like that. Some people have a habit of saying over, and some people have a habit of over to you. But they use a different type of words to convey that it is your turn for you to pick up the microphone and talk. Because both of you talk, the it will clash, then nobody will hear anything, both the side will. So you have to have a kind of tolerance to just wait for your turn to talk, and note down diary whatever you want to discuss. So while you're talking, you should not forget. So you point by point you discuss, note down everything. I'll time out for 1 minute. So okay, so the politeness and comprehension and act positively. Whenever we are talking, we have to be authoritatively in the sense on the subject. You have to have nice knowledge of everything. When you are giving a WX report, you can get hold of some on the phone nowadays. Get umpteen number of reports coming world over. You sitting here, you can talk about New York weather condition. So very important thing is we talk about our weather condition here now. I could see it is going to rain. In another half an hour, there is a thunder sound is coming at the background. So there is a rain. When rain comes, the temperature is down. So what is the shack condition going to be. So there are when you have money to invest, you can buy inside the shack itself your weather reporting system with it's a very cheap, comes less than $50 also. But more you invest on bigger money, you get a better facility and accuracy also. That is what is important. Okay, so weather condition is very important. This gives you a sort of opportunity to improve your English and talk to him. That base makes a base. In music also, we have certain raga to clear your throat and everything, so that you become comfortable when your throat will open and you are able to sing. Similarly, this weather report and all those things, it's an initial entry level. When you start talking to him, you are comfortable situation. He also talks to you, you also talk to him, then you become comfortable. Then on the second or third subject, when you want to discuss, so that time you will not face a problem of your you got sometime you want to talk, but you will not be able to talk like that. So it is very important you do that. Okay, so there are various other things, practical rules are there laid out by various authority. If you are using amphitheater, they will have a rules and regulation. And if you are a license holder from Government of India, they give you what you should do, what you should not do. You should not infringe all those details. Apart from our unwritten law, the ethics, what you have to follow, there are certain code of conduct you have to follow within it is a very big subject. I do not know whether I can cover. So we will leave it to that stage. So ethics and moral principle of moral never willingly to interfere transmission from other station. Okay, so many a time you have to understand how is the RF signal behave. When you give more power, so it will go and disturb the next station level. So you have to be within the power what you should do, and the government of India also gives you what is the maximum power you have to use. So you have to follow all these rules and regulation. So you must read regularly till it gets get to your mind that I have to follow these rules. Okay, I'll just time out. Yes. So when we are talking about power and thing, I want to tell you that there are details. In the olden days, when Morse code was used, so you are using the radio also. We used to call the reporting system on RST. Okay, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, RST. The R stands for readability, and signal strength is S for signal strength, and T for the CW actually tone. That is not used. So we only say 58, 59, 57, 48, somewhere like that. Only we talk about readability and signal strength. Okay, so I'll very quickly for a newcomer, I have already made a chart for this. So here is the nice chart I have made. It contains a lot of things. I'll mail it to anybody who wants. My email is my callsign at gmail.com. So I'll send this chart, very nice one I have prepared. So it can be sent to any newcomer. Elmas can also use this for the students. Okay, so very quickly, I read readability. Five numbers are there. First one is unreadable, second barely readable, third is readable with difficulty, four readable with no difficulty, five perfectly readable. Okay, similarly for signal strength 1 to 9, so 1 is faint signal barely perceptible, 2 very weak signal, 3 weak signals, 4 fair signals, 5 fairly good signal, 5 good signals, 7 fairly strong signals, 8 strong signals, 9 very strong signals. Okay, so these are all the thing you have to do. Yeah, okay, so when you initiate a call, there are few important things you have to remember, and you have to give to the other party to respond to you properly. What are those very important things? Is the first of all you have to give your call sign. That rhythmic, before you enter a frequency, first you give their call sign, then followed by your call sign. That is what happens. The moment you say okay, I read you, start your talking. Very important thing is your handle name is very important. What is your handle name? Don't keep it very long. My name Tyagarajan Balasubramanian, because it will take a very long time to note down. So I short down to Bala. Very simple, easy to Bravo Alpha Lima Alpha. Finish. Okay. So keep it short and sweet. That is going to help you. And second thing is the saying 73 is very important. Don't give after you finish your handle QTH etc. immediately 73. I have seen lot of people giving 73 for every time they finish their talk. There we have to use some other language. Okay, I told you previously. I'll tell you that. So first is the call sign you have given, handle name you have given. QTH is also important because QTH, like Amsphere, it's very easy when you say 57 means it is denoting India. Similarly, for RF also, VU means this is the two one alphabets are meant for India. So we'll know when VU sign means this is from G means UK. Like that, we will know about it. But still, you have to give your QTR Chennai, India, like that. Then we use a lot of Q signs. This is again a subject by itself. Okay, I'll time out for 1 minute. The Q signs are used in the olden days. We used to do it in Morse code system, so that because it's a continuously typing, and lettering means too much letter, too much words means the frequency in use has to also to be reduced. So in order to reduce that, Q signs were used, and instead of writing a one three letter word, he only three letters he types. By that it makes other party remembers. Here also is standardized this Q signs along with the phonetics you have to learn. Then start using wherever applicable. I cannot go into detail because it is only half an hour talk. So you use the Q sign and English as a medium of communication. So don't talk in Malayalam, jump, then come to English, then Tamil, like that. Okay, keep one communication, because it is not only a discussion between you and the another party, but this is an open thing. All are hearing. If you are talking about a nice antenna, how you constructed, how you erected, if you talk in Malayalam, there are only limited people will enjoy what you said over that thing. But if it is English, world over people can listen and talk to you. So I know if it is a lot of people do love to talk in Tamil. Even I have done it. So I'm not an exception in that. But this is what is the advantage I mentioned to you. Depending on what is the subject you are talking, if you feel word over will enjoy it, then transfer it to English. That is what I would suggest. Okay. So beginning and ending is very important. When you have almost finished your talk, then you want to go out of the frequency, do another CQ. That is the time we have to use 73. Okay, so 73 Namaste from India, bye bye, ciao ciao, all those things they use different thing. But the another parting who is waiting to come in after you, he knows that you are going to finish anytime. Just wait for some time. Don't immediately punch your PTT, because pressing or handling a PTT itself is an art actually. You have to give a few seconds between each and every pressing of PTT. Just 1 second. So just by pressing, you think that what you are talking, you will reach him correctly, because few 5 seconds of word will be cut. By the time it goes to him. So just relax. The line is finished. Then you know that after some time there is nobody pressing the PTT. You just press the PTT, wait for a few seconds, then you talk. Then your so everything will be heard by the other party, and the other party also knows that once you have finished over 73 or over to you, he says he will also immediately not talk, because you have to release your PTT. So he will also wait for that particular time. So handling of PTT, or if you are using a computer key, that button, same thing, button you press or initiate, or you PTT you press that PTT button, both are same. So try to follow this thing. Okay, that is what is important. So I think it's already 9 o'clock, so I can go on for something. I don't think I've covered most of the item. How to call the basics. At least I made you to go for the basics. So how do you go to and talk to the other side of the people? How do you initiate a call? This is very important. I would suggest your first step is going to be listening. Listen. This is what now in COVID world over they say test. Why they are emphasizing. The reason. Similarly, for ham also important thing is listen. You learn lot of things. I have given you some hint, and I'll send you the notes also. This may help you to understand much more with the clarity, etc. So I'll finish my talk and open for any question you may have to clear this doubt. Over to you. Thank you very much. V2 VPR. This is V3 Tango Bravo Romeo. Mic to you.
BPR, are you there, BPR? Roger, hold on. YouTube conversation is on. So great, wonderful presentation by Imana. He really enjoyed it. Carefully focused on all the micro aspects also of the ethics and the code of conduct in ham radio. So first, we will take questions from VHF stations. Any queries on VHF stations, please? This is View to YZ. Can I go ahead? Sampan, please go ahead. Yes. I think he has rightly put so many things in order, perfectly presented it, and main thing is that is speak to one language. One language is everybody should understand. So we must use English in most of the conversation. With personal, they can use their own language. That is number one. And before calling, you must find out the frequency is clear. First of all, find out is the frequency is in use or not. So when the frequency is free, then only use the frequency. And one more thing, most important, I want to tell you is, in the old days we never used to address everybody as Mr. millionaire, prosperous, and all those things. I don't know, nowadays it has come up. Even we never show address the ham radio, nowhere I have come across in my 60 years of ham radio. We take things very easy, take it very closely. Even the name also will make it so short and sweet and liking. So I once again request all hands and net controllers to refrain from using self, doctor, professor, lecturer. All these things are not to be used at all. Then only you will be very close. It will not be something different. So I once again appeal, request that this prefix suffix should be avoided. And at the right time I have noted only certain points. We have stressed about pure cell and everything almost all. And there is many things. Of course, this is a huge subject. And also you should break in request and then break in. Sometimes you really want to contact suppose that is going on or somebody is having interest, so you must should not pretend. You must say get the consent and then get it even if it is that's going on or you should be into you should but then you must get ask request and get it. This is at the moment my point. Sorry if they have not put anything or anybody else in phone and need to wise and it might. Roger, you reacted to the video. Yes, number. Lovely tips. Yes, you have done the icing on the cake. Really good. Yes, we all should start practicing your tips and that will really bring people closer and together. Any more queries on VHF? Okay, then I will give it to Mangesh for the questions raised on YouTube. I think he has answered most of the questions, but there are still few which Bala can answer. So view 3 Oscar uniform mine to the VPR. Thank you, view VPR and see Bala there. You see the answer Oscar answer is for nice presentation. There are no questions related to today's topic. Most of them are answered there, Balaji. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation. Just one more iteration is listen to all the new apps. You should listen 90% and just stop 10%. And everything will come based there. VPR, I don't see any question there. So I'll pass on to you for closure there. Due to VPR 3 Oscar uniform mic. Roger. VPR Oscar uniform mic to VPR. Yeah, this is the impact of Bala's 2 sessions on last 2 Saturdays for the SWS on Amnesia. And he did 2 sessions of nearly 1 hour each. And we clarified most of
Thank you very much for everybody listening patiently and watching these slides. We too, I said, thank you very much. You pointed out a few things. Due to paucity of time, the code of conduct, I thought of OM as a ZYL, where to call. And you have rightly pointed out in Amphier, the people are talking Mr. Sir, all those things. Then I have pointed to them this should not be done. You go through the rule book. Fortunately, unfortunately, they don't seems to have any soft copy of the even phonetics. I don't know whether they have it or not. So this is the situation which prompted me to at least do some basic work so that it reaches out to people. So I am reaching out to people, and I'm sure when you witness next time, you will not face any such problem. Okay, so thank you very much. When the the many Elmers on this thing, I only request one thing is for 5 years I have been the member of Hamsphere, but I didn't use the Hamsphere so extensively because I was given the impression it is not a RF radio, so it is a different. Don't waste your time. So I do agree it is not a RF radio, but one thing we have to agree is if you want to live in this digital world, this is one of the stepping stone to get into the Hamsphere. And also, even if you learn car, you need to go take a training with car driving. And if you want to learn, to go on air, you have to go simulator. So I consider the Hamsphere as a simulator. Okay, whatever the technical portion can take by the simulator, and I am a strong believer of fusion of theory and practical. So theory is the bookish knowledge what we get from various sources that we are reading. There was no practical available to us unless you touch a real radio. But now it is giving you opportunity to go online and for no money. Maximum subscription is 32 euro, not more than that. There are free trial. You can say even use that for 1 month or so and learn many things in 1 month. Okay, so my humble request is everybody. I know still people are averse to this type of Hamsphere is a part of a digital. So to just have a look at it, I think I did from 4th of April until this morning. I done about 120 PSO. Okay, I have a nice IC 7300 sitting in my shack. I have a antenna problem. I did only less than 10 PSO. That's it. You can compare what is the way. But at the end of the day, my 7300 is going to prove much better than any other thing. That's a different story. What I'm saying is, there you don't have to install antenna, anything like this. Just log in and start working.
So, thanks a lot, Bala, for this wonderful presentation today. It is one more feather in Pune hand cap for such a wonderful program. I will request with Juliet Alpha Raja to propose vote of thanks and then formally that will be over. Take it up, Raja. Mangesh, for moderating the whole thing on YouTube. Controlling and moderating. He has done a fantastic job. I must thank all